One of the things that my therapist has taught me is this analogy of like a pool, like a swimming pool. And you can fill up that swimming pool with water, and what the water symbolizes is basically a sense of purpose, love, acceptance, belonging, a lot of the fundamental things that make you feel secure. And she said that in my instance, where I didn't have a really great childhood, like some abuse and neglect, you don't get that pool filled from your parents or your family. And so she said, what I did as a small child is I learned how to fill the pool myself. And filling the pool myself looked like people pleasing, kind of like being a good student and always getting good grades, trying to satisfy the teacher, the only adult figure that really gave me any praise. I've been very generous in the past. In undergrad, I probably lent out over $10,000 from my financial aid package. I was able to TA in college. I was doing that all over the place, multiple classes, multiple labs, giving people rides, listening to people, giving them advice. I was kind of like that guy. Like, oh my gosh, Zach's so nice, he'll do anything for anyone. I was desperately trying to keep that pool full. If I don't do all these things, I'm not gonna mean anything. I'm not gonna have a purpose. No one's gonna like me. My therapist asked me about my friend Rico, and she was like, does Rico do anything that you benefit from? Does he help you in any way? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, he's kind of like my go-to guy for advice or problems or seeing things from a different perspective and just figuring things out. She was like, would you still be his friend if he didn't do all that for you? And I stopped and I thought, because I wanted to give like a real honest answer. And I tried to imagine that, even though it was hard. I was like, okay, Rico doesn't do anything for you. Are you still his friend? And I said, yeah. And she asked me why. And I said, well, if I'm not benefiting from his friendship, from like favors or advice or anything like that, I think I just enjoy being around him because I like him. There's just something about the way he talks, the way he reacts to things, the way he listens. I just like who he is as a person. Like, being around him as a person, it makes me feel good. She was just like, can you see how someone could feel the same way about you? And I couldn't. There has to be some sort of why or some sort of reason for why anyone would want anything to do with me. And then she brought up some older friends that she knew about from other sessions, and she was like, well, what about Binu? And I thought about Binu. She's independent. She's older than me. She was always a step ahead of me in school. I never was like helping her with homework or anything like that. When we met each other, it's not like we were lonely. It's not like we needed each other for like company. And I thought about so many times when she invited me out to go hang out with her and her friends. And I would always say no, because I was doing my own thing. I was hanging out with my friends and studying. She just never stopped. She never stopped until like one day I finally said yes. And I thought about that, and I was just like, I mean, I feel like I try to be a good friend, but it's not like she never had any big problems where she needed advice. She never had, like, she was just independent and didn't need anything from me. It was just a lot. It was like this in that session where I was just like, to feel that, to be like, oh my God, like someone, God, I need to get it together, otherwise you're not even gonna understand me. I'm trying to be open here, but I still want you guys to understand me. To think that someone would just like me or value me for who I was, whatever that meant. So I'm like, I don't even know who I am. And for someone else to see that and then just be like, I like that. That's valuable. That means something. It was just really, really powerful. Can you tell? And oh my God, I just need to, let me take a second here. If you know me in my personal life, and if I haven't said it before, thank you so much for being in it. It makes my life what it is, which is awesome. At the end of the day, I have struggles and everyone else has struggles, but at the end of the day, it really makes it awesome. And I'll always be thankful for that, because it wasn't always like this. There was years and years and years where I didn't have anyone. And it was really, really fucking lonely, and it sucked. And I wanted to kill myself. And I didn't want to live because it honestly wasn't a life worth living. But I'm here. And you guys have shown me how awesome everything can be.